Welcome to our 19th session. Our speaker for today is, we all know him, Mr. Benjamin Adigwu, our Group HSE Manager. And today he'll be talking about a very important topic about health and safety onboarding.
We introduce the things we're going to do, the purpose of the training of the HSE onboarding, the benefits. Then we look into emergency arrangements in the office. Okay, our responsible persons, our office first aiders, actions to take an emergency, etc. Then we look into common office hazards like slip, trip, and falls. We look into ergonomics, effects of ergonomics on our work, display screen equipment, and of course, finally, we look into elevator safety. So let's go. HSE onboarding is a mechanism through which employees acquire necessary HSE skill and knowledge to enable them to become effective organizational members and inculcate in them positive HSE culture to help them prevent accident in the workplace. Okay, you need for this onboarding is for company staff to acquire HSE knowledge that enable them integrate properly into existing safety culture of the organization. Okay. In Dallah Holding, our HSE goal is zero accident. And if you look into our policies of the various companies like Digital, SDI, Dallah, Advertising, all our HSE policies have as our main target as a zero accident. So this training today is for us to be able to, it's a step towards achieving our HSE target of zero accident. Because by the time you know what to do and how to do it, we are safe from impending accidents. So let's go on. The purpose of this, as I said earlier, okay, is for us to know the HSE facilities, to know our roles and responsibilities, to know common actions in terms of hazard and emergency. Okay, then employees will be given information concerning responsible persons, location of emergency exit, action to take on hearing emergency alarm, the first aid box location of first aiders, location of fires, equipment, common office hazard, economies, and the rest as I've mentioned before. So what is the benefit of this onboarding? The first benefit there is to show top management commitment on safety for our employees. This is organized and sanctioned by the management because they care about your safety. If not, this will not be happening. Most of the things you see in the office are put in place for you to be safe. Apart from the COVID-19, there are also other things that are there that you may not even know that are made specifically for your own safety. So this is showing management commitment to your safety, Then it's an important step towards achieving our zero accident target, which I said earlier. Then for our staff, this helps us to get a better job performance. This is also legal compliance because in Qatar, you should make your workplace safety. It's a law in Qatar. Okay, so as we are doing this, it's part of our legal compliance as a company and as a people. Okay, to the staff, greater organizational commitment, reduction in stress, and intent to quit. Like if the place you are working, you feel you are not safe, you want to leave the place. But we know that your safety is guaranteed, that management are interested in your safety, then you wouldn't want to quit in a hurry. Okay, then for the new employees, they will have knowledge about HSE do's and don'ts, okay, improve HSE awareness, and the higher job satisfaction. These are benefits of the onboarding. Then let's go straight to today's business, emergency plans. In this section, we will learn about HSE responsible persons. Maybe you may not know them, you may have seen the picture there in the entrance, or maybe you have not. Our office first aiders, our emergency escape routes, our approved assembly point, our emergency fire equipment, action to take when you discover fire, when you hear alarm in the assembly point, and things you should know concerning your safety. Then these are familiar faces. Of course, Mr. Gian is our team leader. I am the HSE manager. This is our own picture anyway. You have the rest of the team there. Yeah, these people have basic HSE training, especially in first aid and firefighting. Okay, when you see a fire, immediately contact them, they can put it off. When there is any emergency issue, contact them, their phone numbers are displayed there. Okay. Then specifically for the office, these are our office fire wardens and first aiders. These people are trained. The picture is not just for there to see their smiles. They have the training and they can deliver at least the basic help you need. Okay, let's ride on. Then if you are seeing this map, this is a floor plan of our present office now, Dallah Holding Office, Royal Plaza. If you look at the drawing very well, you can easily locate your own, excuse me, you can easily locate your office there looking at the drawing. Like if you can see my cursor, this is the creative department. This is an old drawing, but it's still the same floor plan. This is creative studio, okay? This is the finance. This is reception, okay? This is where Faye is sitting right now. Okay, so this is our general office. I'm taking the creative studio as an example. Jasper, are you with me? Yes, from here now, if there is emergency, okay, you get to this corridor, you can follow the green arrow to the reception. And if you get outside the reception, immediately at your left, there is a corridor there. The door is open 24 hours, okay? From there, you can get down, there is a staircase there. Most of us don't know. You can try it during break time. Just walk down there. Immediately you see a staircase there. And this staircase takes you to our approved assembly point. This is very direct and this is very easy. Because if you want to go through to the next staircase, it might take longer time in case you want to save life. Okay? So other sections of the office can also, you know, like we have all these signs in all the entrance in all the offices to direct you how to go to safety as quickly as possible. I know that there are other staircases, there are other areas, but this is the quickest way for you to go to safety. And this will take you directly to this place. This is street side, side down ground floor of the building. But having said that, our fire wardens has the right to direct you to a place that they feel is safe during evacuation because they are in charge of evacuation. Okay? So I'm saying this to avoid confusion because you will say Benjamin said here and they're asking here. During emergency, Benjamin may not be there, but your emergency fire wardens will direct you to the appropriate place to stay, to go to. Okay? And if you want to try it, as I said earlier, during break time, just follow this arrow after the reception, go to your left side, you'll find this staircase, and it's going to take you directly to this place. And you are very safe. Okay? So that is it for this one. If you have any question for this one, please note it and we'll discuss it later. And then these are our equipment, emergency equipment that you can find in the building. Of course, we know the first aid box, we know the fire extinguishers. Please, if you are not trained on the use of fire extinguisher, do not use. Or if you feel the fire is too much, it's not a small fire, run for your safety. Fire extinguisher can stop a small fire, it cannot save your life. Okay? Then this one is called the fire call point. You may have seen it, you don't know what it is. If you see fire and you want to remind the rest of the staff that there is fire, this is where you go. When you shout fire, people around you will hear, but people that are in other places like the pantry, the toilet, they will not hear. But when you hit this button, then the alarm will come and everybody from everywhere will hear. And we have exit signs that will direct you up to the reception from where you will take your exit. Okay? So if we go back to this floor plan, you will see where we have these our fire, like these are fire extinguishers where they are located up to now in the office. You can see the sign. There is fire extinguisher if you enter reception. There is one here before the art studio. There is one inside the art studio. There is one at the pantry. Our first aid box is exactly here in this open area. Okay, some other fire extinguishers are here. One is here and one in the finance office. Everywhere they are located. Then these are fire alarms. Okay, and we have fire call point here in the office at the reception. We have another fire call point here. So these are the arrangements we put, these are emergency arrangements we put for your safety. Okay, so let's go on. Now, we'll be watching a brief video. Let's see a live video how this emergency evacuation is done. Okay, so just pay attention, and if you have questions about the video, you can ask. If not, we'll continue the training after the video. Let's go.
There are 6 things that HSE faculty, staff, and students need to know about evacuating the building during a fire emergency. And these 6 things could save your life.
Hey, maybe we should read. I mean, it can be real. Yeah, probably just a drill.
We received a fire alarm from your campus. The fire department has been called.
158, I'm investigating now. Get to the exit of the building. Emergency coordinators are checking the floor.
You guys need to leave. The fire alarm is sounding.
Do not hesitate to pull the fire alarm if you discover a fire. Leave the building at your nearest safe exit at the sound of the alarm. Take the stairs, never the elevator. Elevators are reserved for firefighter use. Emergency coordinators will assist in making sure the building is completely evacuated.
You guys need to take the stairs.
Proceeding to the exit in a calm and orderly manner helps to ensure a safe building evacuation. Assisting others along the way can make the difference between life and death. People with mobility impairments should wait at an area of rescue assistance. Make sure your specific location is known by communicating with an emergency coordinator or asking others to report it. The fire department makes rescue their first priority when they arrive on the scene. Remember to familiarize yourself with exit locations and areas of rescue assistance. This information can be found on the campus safety plan posted on the campus. Once outside, walk to the road. Do not leave. Everyone must be accounted for. Report anyone missing or injured to an emergency coordinator. Moving vehicles are a hazard to those walking to the rescue point. Block emergency responder access.
Jimmy's hurt. He needs help. Wait here.
Okay.
Administrator in charge. I have a person in the area of rescue on 6, and I have a person with a medical emergency in between 5 and 6.
Fire and EMS are on the way.
employees need to stay at the rally point and wait for further instructions. Fortunately, in this case, the fire was extinguished and there was minimal damage. The administrator in charge can give the all clear. She or he may also use the outdoor PA.
All clear. Return to the building.
Fin de la alerta. Favor de regresar al edificio.
Once the all clear has been issued, employees can return to the building. This is an example of building evacuation due to fire, but other emergencies may require evacuation and similar principles apply. It is especially important that you pay attention to your emergency coordinator, administrator in charge, police, and emergency responders. They could save your life. Although response protocols are in place and help is on its way, you are ultimately responsible for your own safety.
Okay. Hello? Are you with me?
We hear you, Benjamin. We hear you.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So now that we have seen the video has at least prepared our mind going further into the discussion. Now, action to take if you discover fire. Okay? As an individual, you raise an alarm, activate the manual fire call point so that you can inform others. Okay? Use the firefighting equipment, which of course is is the fire extinguisher. If it's a small fire, if it's safe to do so, and if you are trained to do so, okay? Then the next step, call the fire service number 999, and we ask you for information like what is it fire, is it whatever the emergency is, inform them, okay? All staff should evacuate the building through the emergency escape route using the stairs, don't use the elevator, okay? Do not panic, do not run, do not stop to collect your personal belongings because in saving life, every second counts, okay? As always said, please never you use the elevator because at times power might fluctuate and they cut off the elevator and you'll be there. Nothing will happen, but it's better you go out safe, okay? Report to the assembly point on the ground floor, remain in the designated assembly point and follow instructions from the fire wardens. Do not re-enter the building, please, until all clear is given. Okay, inform the fire wardens if you know anybody that might be stuck in the building. Then action to take on hearing the fire alarm. Okay, if you hear the fire alarm, if it is possible, okay, switch off your electrical appliances like your computer or whatever you are using. If you have a door to your office, close the door. Why is it important to close the door? Because this will reduce the oxygen and calm down the fire. Fire works with the oxygen. By the time you close the door and close the windows, then the fire will be suppressed partially, okay? Leave the building quietly using the nearest escape route, okay? Do not panic, be alert, okay? Once you reach the safe ground, do not go to your house, please. Go to the assembly area on the floor, street side, or directed by the fire wardens, okay? Wait for further instructions. The action to take at the assembly point. Because getting there is one thing, then what to do when you get there is another thing, okay? When you get to that assembly point, all personnel should be quiet and organize themselves into departmental groups. Listen to instruction from the fire wardens or city representatives, okay? This is followed by roll call or head count to ensure that all workers present are out of the building and safe. This should be done as short a time as possible. Emergency wardens should report to their manager or departmental head any missing persons immediately. At this point, kindly inform the fire wardens if you know any colleague that may be stuck in the building. This will enable authorities to commence rescue operation on time and save the person, okay? The emergency wardens and safety representatives are responsible for ensuring nobody returns into the building or workplace until emergency services determine that it is safe to do so and give all clear. Please, again, I'm reminding you, do not go to your homes upon evacuation from the building or upon hearing an alarm, you take your bag and you run away. No. Go to the assembly point as directed by fire wardens and wait to be counted. Why? Because if you go home, fire wardens and authorities may assume you were stuck in the building. Also, this may instigate unnecessary rescue operation and you put the life of rescuers in danger. Okay, so now we know the reason why we should stay and what we should do. Okay, and then things you must know all the time. It's important for you to know your emergency escape route. It's important for you to know the position of the fire call points, which I've already shown you in the building plan, in the floor plan for the building. It's important for us to know the fire alarm call points, to know where the fire extinguishers are. Okay, it's important for us to know the assembly points. And then it's important for us to know our office fire wardens and the HSE team members, and also emergency services number. For Royal Plaza, for any emergency, call this landline. It's 24 hours. You can reach them with this line. Then for Dallah Holding, of course, you can call me. You can call Gian. And then numbers of all the team members are in the HSE team. Okay, for external assistance, you can dial 999 for civil defense, for police, or for hospital. Once you dial 999, they will ask you what kind of emergency it is, and they will attend to you. Okay? At this point, any question or we should move on? Hello, can we go on?
Benjamin, better go on, and we have all questions at the end.
Okay,
so
great.
not interrupt you.
Okay, great. Then now, we've said enough about emergency. Let's talk about common office hazards. There are a lot of hazards in the office, but the most common are sleep, trips, and falls, because these are things that we encounter every day and we don't pay attention, but at times it might lead to very big injury of great concern. Okay? You can avoid painful injuries both on and off the job by knowing how sleep, trips, and falls occur and by taking necessary precautions to prevent them. What are sleep? Sleep is a loss of balance caused by too little friction between your feet and the surface you walk or walk on. Slips can occur as a result of constantly wet surfaces or occasional slips. Maybe you are walking carelessly, there is liquid spill on the floor, or you are wearing shoes without adequate friction for the work surface. This can cause painful injuries when you sleep. What are trips? A trip is a loss of balance also caused by interference between your forward motion and some objects, like taking shortcuts, leaving clutter in the walkways, walking under poor lighting, and walking on loose, uneven floors are common causes of trips. As I said earlier, these are things we encounter every day. Then all this will result to falls. A fall is caused whenever you move too far off your center of balance, because by the time you sleep or you trip, this will make you to move faster over your balance, and then you fall. You know, when you move faster over your balance, gravity pulls you from one position to second more stable position. Okay, this can be caused by maybe a site, by makeshift ladders, reaching too far to the side of a ladder. That is if you're on site. In the office, this can be caused by uneven ground or carpet or floor tiles or uneven floor. Okay, so we are going to be looking at a short video to understand better what we mean by sleep, trip, and fall hazards and the way we can avoid them. Let's go.
Slips are no respecter of person, no respecter of place. They happen to anyone, anywhere. Consider the most common of causes. Wet surfaces. It can be as ordinary as mud and leaves in a rain puddle to an obscure spill like oil, grease, and food. Dry spills. They are deceivingly dangerous. Powders, dusts, plastic wrappings, lint, granules, all quickly accumulate, creating hazardous walking surfaces. highly polished surfaces. Freshly waxed ceramic and marble floors may be attractive to look at, but are uncertain to walk on. Be especially attentive when moving between rooms, from, let's say, carpeting to tile. The distinctly different floor textures can catch you off guard. Anything loose. Heads up for unstable floorboards and tiles, slick rugs and mats. These obstacles go largely unnoticed. Gravel walkways. Dirt, sand, and pebbles cleverly camouflage a smooth surface, making it tricky to maneuver. Debris and litter on walkways do the same thing. Sudden slopes. They can appear with no warning, bringing you down in a flash. Unmarked ramps. Gangplanks and loading docks often don't have skid-resistant surfaces, and those made of metal are particularly treacherous when wet. The smooth surface easily becomes slick as ice. Weather conditions. Rain, ice, snow, sleet. Inclement weather can be a force to be reckoned with. Special caution should be taken when working in these conditions. Constant climbing. Up and down, mounting and dismounting, scaling and descending. A missed hand grip here or a slippery rung there is a split second away from an accident. Common sense says, watch your step or you'll trip. But reality replies, sorry, too busy, too rushed. Remember Renee's trip? Her co-workers irresponsibly left out their tools, costing her dearly. Trailing cables and hoses, pallets and steel girders, loose wires and cords, open cabinets and desk drawers. The list is endless. All sorts of industrial supplies, tools, or machinery left unattended on walkways wreak havoc. Uneven flooring, deep cracks, gaping holes, curb drops, changes in floor elevation can all spearhead major trips and falls. Stairs, an obvious architectural necessity, all too often present a navigating nightmare. Neck and back trauma, the most common complaints after stairway falls, are the culprit or cause to many preventable disabling injuries. Yes, taking 2 or 3 steps at a time could be deadly. Clutter, a virtual breeding ground for catastrophes. Warehouse exits blocked by boxes. Workshop containers of chemical and waste materials unevenly stacked. Construction scaffolding piled high with building materials. All these scenarios make the workplace a hazardous haven for missteps and trips. Jay anxiously surveys the warehouse. Storage issues and delivery delays put Jay far behind his inventory schedule. With clipboard in hand, he hastily weaves his way through the shipments and pallets. Sorry to say, while Jay is schedule-minded, he's safety-blinded. His pathway is peppered with debris, then the inevitable trip. It's not uncommon to trip on loose materials, then fall head-on into other objects like shelving or debris.
Okay. So I'm sure we learned a few things from the video, and this will help us improve in the way we do our thing. Then what are the ways you can prevent these slip, trips, and falls around our workplace? 1, keep your working surfaces clean and free of clutter. Okay? Clear your furniture. You can quickly reduce the potential for injury if you clear the walkways. Okay, lighting, ensure proper lighting inside and outside the workplace. Okay, this can help illuminate areas that may cause employees or customers to trip or fall. Okay, use like using signages, using clear workplace signage can help to call attention to potential problem areas. Like if there is glass, you can put glass caution. If you are cleaning the floor, you can put wet floor caution. These are signages that will help us, okay? Then for the rugs and the carpets, secure all rugs and carpet by means of glue. Okay, if you see any place that the carpet is raising up, you should report it so that it will be glued there properly, because this can cause a trip. Okay, no uneven areas and smooth levels from door to the offices is important to reduce slip hazard. Your footwear is also very important. Okay, shoes with a proper traction, okay, should be used if possible, and avoid high heels for better balance. This, of course, for the ladies. Then manage your cords properly. Make sure that there are no cords running across walkways. Okay, no internet and phone cables. All internet and phone cables must be kept under the carpet and out of walkways. Okay, clean up spills immediately. If you have any spill, clean it up immediately or call attention of the office assistant. Okay, then report immediately any perceived unsafe act or condition to office HSE personnel. Of course, we have the picture of the team. Okay, so let's go for that. Office ergonomics. Ergonomics, most of us might not be familiar with this term, but it's one of the major office hazards that we experience every day. You know, it's a very big area. I try to reduce as much as possible because of time and for us to understand the main things we need to know. Okay, ergonomics is the study of the relationship between the worker, the work they are doing, and the environment in which they are doing the work. So, like now you are sitting down, look around you. There are a lot of things that are ergonomic hazard to you, but you may not even know. So during the course of this discussion, you will understand more the ergonomics and the effects and how you can prevent them. Okay. Like NIOSH, which is a National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, defines ergonomics as designing the workplace and tasks to fit the capabilities of the working population. Okay, this is a relentless pursuit of continuous effort to design the workplace for what people do well and design against what people do not do well. Okay, thereby fitting the job to the person, to enhance human performance. So this entails that your office must be safe for your work. Okay, it must be easy for you to work without stress. Everything you're using to work must give you comfort and you feel you are safe. Okay, then furthermore, ergonomics can simply put can be defined as the study of people in their working environment. Okay, the design or modification of the workplace to fit the worker, not the other way around, as I already said. Okay, the goal of ergonomic safety is to eliminate discomfort and risk of injury due to the work you do every day. So before I go further into this ergonomic hazards, I'd like to show you a short clip also so that you understand the ergonomic effects in the office and how it can be prevented before we go into further details.
Tired of straining your neck staring at that computer monitor? Does your back ache at work? Are sore wrists ruining your day? Then you need SORM's Ergonomic Guide to Office Comfort and Safety. Ergonomics is a science of designing the workplace to improve productivity and safety by removing factors causing pain and discomfort. Ergonomic forces a workplace to fit you rather than forcing you to fit the workplace. The office is a dangerous spot. One of the most hazardous places in it is your workstation. Does your workstation look like this? A cluttered workstation is not ergonomically friendly. Items that you use often should be placed within your reach on your workstation, and things that you use less often should be placed out of your way. Regardless of how you use your workstation, the bottom line is that you need to set up your desk so you're comfortable and efficient. Your chair is often the most adjustable component in your workplace, so you need to know how to use it correctly to support your body. Try out all those levers and knobs on your chair to see what they do. A good workstation setup begins with your chair and knowing how to use it. First, sit in your chair and push yourself back into the spot where the seat meets the backrest. Adjust your chair height so these are hip level or slightly below, with feet firmly on the floor. Have your knees at about a 90-degree angle with adequate clearance behind them. If possible, adjust the tilt of the backrest to support your body in an upright position. If your chair does not support your lower back, then add a back support cushion to provide better support for your spine. This should be your last option. A better option is to obtain a chair that fits you more appropriately. Where's my chair? A Adjust the chair height so your elbows are the same height as your keyboard, with arms resting comfortably at your sides, approximately 90 degrees at the elbow. The hover of your keyboard should be about elbow level. Position the keyboard directly in front of your body to allow neutral positions of your wrists, elbows close to your body, and shoulders relaxed. Strike the keys softly. You don't have to hit the keys hard. Use a light touch with your elbows relaxed comfortably. Remember to 1. Position your mouse close to the keyboard. 2. Use brush strokes to move the mouse. Don't flick the mouse with your wrist. 3. Let go of the mouse when you're not using it. It's not going to run off. Monitor alignment keeps your body posture aligned. A monitor screen that is too high or low increases the demand on your neck and shoulders. Place the monitor as far away from you as you can, still being able to read it clearly with good posture. Raise or lower your computer monitor so the top of the screen is at or just below eye level. If the monitor is too low, place it on a riser, an old phone book, or even a ream of paper to get it to the correct height. There's the unwanted reflection of light off the monitor. It can come from a window or light sources in your work area. Repositioning the monitor often eliminates the glare on the screen. Tilt the screen to eliminate as much glare or reflectance as possible. Your monitor should never be positioned so the window is directly behind the monitor or you. If you sit near a window, adjust or close the blinds to reduce incoming sunlight in your work area. When using a phone, place your phone within easy reach. Use a shoulder rest, headset, or speakerphone for frequent and extensive phone use to eliminate cradling the phone handset between your neck and shoulder. This frees up your hands for using the computer or taking notes. If you spend a significant amount of time on the phone, then a hand-free telephone headset is recommended. Stop! Take periodic rest breaks. Breaks make you more productive when you are working. Who doesn't want to work less and get more? Taking breaks does not mean you have to stop working. Rather, it allows you to integrate other activities into your work routine. Try alternating your computer tasks with other activities, such as making phone calls, making copies, filing, or even talking with a coworker.
Have you seen my chair? No.
Here are some simple, slight stretching exercises that you can do at your desk throughout the workday. Remember to stretch periodically and frequently. Take a few minutes to stretch your muscles throughout the workday to reduce stress, fatigue, and discomfort. Allow your muscles to breathe by getting oxygen. Stretching during the day allows your body to recover from the demands of work and helps you feel better. Act now, and your safety, productivity, and comfort will greatly improve. Become ergonomically friendly today.
Ergonomics has given me the confidence to succeed at work and in love.
It's like going green for your body.
Now I can talk on the phone all day. Not only has my posture improved, but my self-esteem has skyrocketed.
MasterCard, Visa, and American Express.
Okay. So ergonomics activities involve any of the ergonomic risk factors, okay, below may contribute to or result in an increased risk of strain or injury. These are the risk factors of ergonomics, okay? Awkward posture like twisting, bending, reaching, overreaching, walking with your neck or back bent more than 30 degrees without support and without the ability to vary your posture. External contact stress. These are, contact stress occurs when part of your body rubs against a component of the workstation, such as your chair or seat or pan edge of this desk repeatedly. Okay, then internal stress occurs when tendon, nerve, or blood vessel is stretched or bent around the bone or a tendon. These are medical terms. This is just your bone, due to repeated tasks, and then your tendon and the vein are strained, okay? Then forceful exertions are also another risk factor. This occurs when a lot of physical effort is needed to do a task, e.g. like pushing or pulling. These are forceful exertions. These are economic factors. Then insufficient rest breaks. Sitting for too long a period of time in same position, a lack of exercise is an ergonomic risk factor. Okay, like lifting heavy objects that are too heavy for you, you try to lift it or lift in an unsafe manner can result to ergonomic effects. Then lighting, poor lighting in the office, maybe too bright or too dull, flickering light or fluctuating light. This can give you stress. They are all part of ergonomic effects because these are things around your workplace. Then noise from faulty equipment, noise from machinery, noise from your co-workers, okay, can lead to poor concentration and communication difficulties. Then repetitive motions like muscular condition that result from repeated motions performed in the course of normal daily work activities. Then finally, another ergonomic risk factor is temperature, office temperature. Like sometimes some people can say it's too cold, some say it's too hot, but this also affects ergonomic risk factor, okay? It could be too hot or too cold, have been shown to have significant adverse effect on concentration of work and performance. Suitable temperature should be between the range of 20 to 24. Depends on what you want or what is good for you, okay? These are all ergonomic risk factors. Then, what are the injuries that result from poor ergonomics? One, back injury and back pain. At times you might get home and you are feeling, pain in your back, your lower back, and you are wondering what happened. These are as a result of your work activity in the day, the way you do your work. Okay. Then work-related upper limb disorders, conditions that affect your arms, your wrists, and your hands. Okay. Then tendon and ligament injuries. When tendons and ligaments are overloaded, like you are keying using the keyboard like 3, 4, 5 hours, then your tendons are overloaded. They can cause tear and causing painful injuries internally. Then, of course, muscle injuries, overloaded muscle tissue can tear. This is painful and likely to lead to short-term impairment. Then we have what is called carpal tunnel syndrome, CTS. This is a disorder that causes pain and weakness in the hand and wrist. If you know the wrist area, at times you'll be having pain there. It looks like your hand is trying to contract on its own, especially when you are working on computer for a long time. This is called a carpal tunnel syndrome. All these things can be done by observing most of the things you saw in the video, by setting up a good workstation and taking a regular breaks, among other safety tips. Then also tendonitis is an inflammation of or irritation of the tendon, which is a thick cord that attach bones and muscles. Inflammation of this tendonitis can be as a result of ergonomic effects. And finally, there is a term called epicondylitis or tennis elbow. This is described as pain or soreness in the outer part of the elbow. Okay, it's one of the most commonly diagnosed musculoskeletal disorders, typically affecting the dominant arm. This is around the shoulder because of, maybe you are pulling and pushing and regular work for so many hours. Okay, and start feeling pains, around your shoulder area. This is like people that play tennis. This is not, we are not talking about sports anyway, but the kind of work you do can make you have pain in your elbow area, and this is called epicondylitis. Okay, these are injuries. Most of them are medical terms. Just for your knowledge, you don't need to know the details of them. Then you may be asking, then what is ergonomically correct office workstation? This is the way it looks like. Okay, your head upright and over your shoulders. You don't have to bend your head while working. If you bend your head down to look at your screen, then this is a very big problem. You can have a pain in your neck. Your head should be upright, okay? Eyes looking slight downwards without bending from the neck, okay? Your backrest should support the natural curve of your lower back. Your wrist in natural straight posture. You don't need to raise your wrist to operate your keyboard, okay? The table must be of acceptable height. Minimum is 65 to 70 cm, your table. Okay, ties horizontally with 90 to 110 degrees. This is a safe way to put your tie. And then feet supported on the floor. Your feet must be flat on the floor. If your feet is not flat on the floor, this is going to affect your back. You might need to use a support for your feet. Okay, then let's go on. We have much to cover. Then what are the appropriate features of an ergonomically safe workstation? From what you have seen in the diagram, okay, chair should offer pneumatic seat pan height adjustment. Chair should be adjustable with a backrest that tilts backward and forward, like we have in our offices. All the chairs we have in Royal Plaza, there is ergonomically safe seats. It can be adjusted, okay? Then your workstation, at times you have adjustable desk, but if it's up to 70 cm, no need for adjustable desk, okay? Then your keyboard should lie flat and offer slope adjustability to achieve up to plus minus 15 degree slope. You don't need to put your keyboard flat, make it slopey. It gives more comfort, okay? Your input device should include a long cord for proper placement of cables. Like in office there, our cables are run from the back, so it is safe. Your monitor should be adjustable and try to brighten the contrast. Should be free from flicker and of adjustable tilt, okay? Your monitor and your monitor arm structure should be height adjustable, okay? Adjust your monitor to suit your eye and your sitting position, okay? Your wrist should be constructed of compressible or soft material to reduce external pressure. What it means is that, like, you can have your wrist rest if you need, just a piece of foam that you can put your wrist if you want, so that your wrist can be comfortable while you are typing on the keyboard, okay? Your headset should be digital, as you saw in the video, okay? If you have a digital headset, you can talk freely while you are operating your computer, and this will reduce stress and the neck pain or back pain, okay? Footrest is needed if your legs are not comfortable on the floor, as I said earlier. Then you might need task lighting. Depends on the kind of work you are doing. Task lighting is a light that focuses directly on your laptop. Okay, if your office is not well illuminated, you might need a task lighting to focus on your workstation. Then for laptops, please use an external mouse. Don't use your hand to operate the laptop. This will strain your shoulders, okay? Use external mouse and keyboard for your laptop. It will help a lot. For the period you are using the laptop, take regular breaks, okay? And change your posture when working for long periods of time. This is all about ergonomics. Like most of the things we discuss now, we still repeat them further because we are talking about office safety, and most of these things will come up as we go further. Okay. So the next item has also is related to this ergonomics, is display screen equipment. If you look into this picture, you will see desktop and laptops. These are known as display screen equipment. You know, significantly, they pose a lot of hazards to us in our workplace, and care should be taken on how we use them so that we don't go home sick. Display screen equipment is any device or equipment that has an alphanumeric or graphic display screen, regardless of the display process involved. Okay, this might include your display screens and those using emerging technology like laptop, touch screen, as you have said earlier. Okay, the main health risks that arise from work with display screen equipment are fatigue, eye strain, and upper limb problem, as we discussed earlier, and also backache. These problems can arise from overuse of display screen equipment or improper use. Okay, for example, where a workstation is not set up properly, as we said earlier, by the user. Okay, useful tips for use of your display screen equipment. Okay, before starting work, make adjustments to improve your posture. Okay, adjust your seat, make sure your desk is cleared, the computer is well positioned, your mouse, your wrist, everything is in order before you start work. Don't just come and jump quickly to reply an email. Make sure that your workstation is properly set. Okay, then break up long spells of DSC work will help to prevent fatigue and eye strain and all the problems that are associated with this. Interrupt prolonged use of DSC with changes in activity, such as you can organize coffee breaks, you know, short frequent breaks are better than longer infrequent ones. Okay, try to stretch. You can stand or you can sit a little bit, stretching, change your position, look into the distance to at least, you know, exercise your eye from time to time and blink often to clear your eye. Okay, sometimes walk to your colleague, but now because of social distancing, it's not advisable to walk to your colleague. But in future, this is important. You can walk to your colleague to discuss briefly an issue instead of sending emails. Okay, use your personal protective equipment like your wristbands and document holders to organize your table. Use your footrest, okay? Anti-glare shades if available. If necessary, talk to your manager if you identify anything else you might need to work safely. Then these are the safety tips, general safety tips that you need to know while working with the display screen equipment, okay? A space in front of your keyboard can help you rest your hands and wrists when you are not keying into the keyboard. Make sure that there is a space between you and the keyboard to help you rest your wrists, okay? Try to keep your wrist straight forward as much as possible while typing, okay? Apply good keyboard techniques by keeping a soft touch on the keyboard and not overstretching your fingers. Position the mouse within easy reach so it can be used with a straight wrist. Sit upright and close the desk to reduce working with mouse stretched. Move the keyboard out of the way if it is not being used. Support the forearm on the desk and don't grip the mouse too tightly. Rest fingers lightly on the buttons and do not press them so hard. Make sure individual characters on the screen are sharp, in focus, and do not flicker or move. If they do, the display screen equipment may need servicing or adjustment. Then you can contact your IT team if you think there are issues with your display screen equipment, okay? Adjust the brightness and contrast controls on the screen to suit lighting conditions in the room. Make sure your screen surface is always clean. Choose text that is large enough to read easily, okay, and is comfortable for you. So this is about ergonomics and the display screen equipment. We'll go into the last topic of the day, which is elevator safety. Most times we use the elevator and we don't know that there are a few things we need to know that can help us use the elevator better. Okay, like elevators are the most safe modes of transportation. Okay, with over 325 million daily riders on some 700,000 elevators in the US. Okay, yet incidents involving elevator kill more than 25 people and seriously injure another 10,000 each year. Things are happening. If it doesn't happen to us, does not mean it's not happening. So we have to be careful. According to data provided by US Bureau of Labor and Statistics and the Consumer Products, those figures happen. People are killed and people are injured everywhere. But don't put your mind in those television movies that depict dangerous elevator failures. You know, like showing multiple people like plummeting from elevators, falling and shouting, screaming. No, those are mere movies. Elevators are supported by multiple steel cables, and each cable alone can carry support of a full loaded car. So elevators are very safe. Having said that, let's go quickly into the business. I have a short video that you will watch to prepare your mind further in this discussion and then learn a few things about elevator and how you can use them safely. Okay, let's go.
The Washington State Department of Labor and Industries has the responsibility to ensure that all elevators in the state of Washington are maintained in a safe operating condition. Many accidents and injuries involving elevators are caused by a passenger's own actions. This video has been produced to show proper and safe behavior when using an elevator. Let's start by seeing how an elevator works.
Hello, my name is Jack Day, Chief Elevator Inspector for the state of Washington. I'll bring you all up here to introduce you to some safety features of elevators. One of the first safety features that's built into the elevator is you'll notice this drive sheave, and on this drive sheave are 6 steel cables. One cable is sufficient to support the load on this elevator. If any one of these cables breaks, you'll have 5 other cables supporting this. And remember, it only takes one to support the load. Another safety feature of an elevator is a centrifugal governor. Centrifugal governor is calibrated to, at a predetermined speed, it will stop and hold the elevator in place. So in chance if the elevator was to overspeed or start to free fall in the down direction, this will stop the elevator and hold it in place while somebody would come and rescue you. Another safety feature is the brake. The brake is calibrated to 125% of the full load capacity of the elevator. Whenever the elevator is stopped at a landing, this brake sets and holds it firmly in place while you are entering and exiting the elevator. This brake is tested every year to ensure it will hold the capacity of the elevator. What we're looking at here is the computer, the brains of the outfit. This is what operates the elevator, tells it where to go. You push a button, an input board will recognize, you push the button, it'll tell the processor to tell the drive to move this elevator and go pick you up. It gets to the landing, it tells it to open the door, close the door. This processor will check itself many times a second for any safety or precautionary issues. It will take the elevator out of service if it recognizes one.
Safety features of the elevator include motion detectors within the doors, or push guards. These devices are designed to assist in the prevention of having the doors close on a person's limbs. There is, however, a point of no return. Once the alarm begins to sound, doors will continue to apply pressure until the doors are closed. This may cause serious injury to body parts, which may have become trapped between the doors. When the building alarm is activated, do not use the elevators. If you are in an elevator when the alarm sounds, do not panic. The elevator will automatically go to a safe floor and open. At that point, you should exit the elevator and proceed to the nearest emergency exit and evacuate the building. Sometimes a person will be in a hurry and forget, or may not notice, that others are attempting to exit the elevator. When the elevator arrives, you should stand to the side or away from the doors to allow the passage of passengers who are exiting the elevator. Once all of the exiting passengers are clear of the doorway, then you may enter the elevator. Have you ever seen someone force their way onto an already full elevator? This action could be considered rude and may also lead to a dangerous situation. The best way to deal with a full elevator is to relax and wait for the next elevator. Another will be along shortly. Sometimes, common courtesy issues arise within the elevator. You should always be aware of persons with special needs who may need assistance with either entering or exiting elevators. Care should be taken with personal items while entering or exiting the elevators. Small items such as keys may fall between the elevator and the floor. If this occurs, an elevator repair person or inspector must access the elevator shaft in an attempt to recover dropped items. Persons should also be cautious with high heels and canes, which may get stuck within the space between the elevator and floor and could result in a fall. Elevators are mechanical devices, and as such may need occasional maintenance or repairs. Remember to heed warning signs or barriers when elevators are being repaired or worked on. Sometimes, elevators fail while in use, and riders may become trapped for a period of time. Actions are put into motion when this occurs to resolve the situation, but it requires trapped persons to remain calm and follow certain procedures. The emergency phone on elevators is a direct connection to personnel for emergency assistance. They are trained to assess the situation, provide instructions, and contact the appropriate rescue personnel as indicated.
Hello, it's me.
Yeah, hi, my name is Dallah Bristol, and I'm stuck in the elevator labor industry.
Hi, Jill. My name is Donna. First, can you
tell me which elevator number you're in?
Yeah, it's elevator number 5.
Okay, Dale. The first thing I want you to do is to try pushing a different floor number. Let
Okay.
me know if the elevator moves.
Yeah, no, nothing's working.
All right. I now need you to push the door open and door close button. Did the elevator start?
No, nothing's happening. Door's still shut.
Okay. I'm going to contact the building coordinator to have them go to the elevator and see if they can open the doors from the outside button. I've also had a call placed to have someone come to the building to assist me get you out of the elevator. Are there any other people in the elevator with you? Do you need me to contact someone?
No, I'm the only one in here. We don't need to call it that.
If you like, I can stay on the phone with you until you are able to get out of the elevator.
That's okay. I think I'll be all right. But thank you for your help.
Okay, but if you need anything, call me.
Okay, thank you. Another cause of elevator breakdown is the inappropriate actions of the riders. Failure to follow these steps may result in possible injury or death. This is an example.
Okay, I'm sure we learned a few things from that video. Okay, now let's go into details of how we can use the elevator safely. Okay, when waiting for the elevators, look and listen for the signal announcing your car's arrival. The car is the compartment that carries you in the elevator. The elevator is the system. That when you enter inside is called the car, to avoid the confusion. Okay, stand clear of the elevator doors and stand aside for exiting passengers. If the arriving car is full, wait for the next car. Don't attempt to maneuver or stop a closing door with anything, including your hands, your feet, canes. Wait for the next car, please. In the event of fire or other situation that could lead to disruption of electrical services, take the step. When boarding elevators, allow passengers exiting the elevator to clear before you board. Watch your step. The elevator car may not be perfectly level with the floor. Stand clear of the doors. Keep close and carry-ons away from the opening. Push and hold the door open button if doors need to be held open, or ask someone to push the button for you. Never try to stop a closing door. Wait for the next car. Okay, when riding elevators, what you are supposed to do when riding is when you are inside, okay, hold the handrails if available. Always face the door of the elevator, please. Stand next to the elevator wall if available. Pay attention to the floor indications and announcements when provided. If the doors do not open when the elevator stops, push the door open button. Stay calm if you find yourself stuck in an elevator. Use the elevator arm button or emergency contact button to get help. Elevators are designed to be safe rooms, and the safest place to be is inside the car. Please, when exiting the elevators, exit immediately at your floor. Do not wait for others behind you. Do not push the people in front of you when exiting. Watch your step. The elevator car may not be properly level with the floor. Yes, let's see a brief video that will summarize what you have learned so far in the elevator. It's just a 2-minute video.
Have you ever been stuck in an elevator? Last year, 2 people died trying to get out of an elevator themselves without help. So, do you need to know what to do? Do you know what to do if you're stuck? New at 6, a new elevator safety campaign in the city. CBS 2's Alice Gaynor has more.
New York City has more than 71,000 elevators, and every person who stopped to speak with us says they've been stuck at least once in one of them.
About 30 minutes. Most stuck for about 10 minutes. About 30 minutes.
5 minutes?
These people say they remained calm, called for help, and were rescued without issue. But last year, 2 people were killed in separate incidents while trying to escape stalled elevators. Back in October, a stalled elevator opened between floors, and a 37-year-old man was crushed trying to get out when the elevator moved suddenly. Then, on New Year's Eve of last year, something similar happened, killing a man. Despite these fatalities, the New York City Department of Buildings says injuries suffered by elevator passengers has decreased over the years.
In 2007, there was approximately 105 accidents across the city. Compared to last year, it was 51.
But the Department of Buildings commissioner says the goal is to get the number down to 0.
If the elevator gets stuck, the safest place to be is always inside.
So they've launched the Stay Safe, Stay Put campaign, urging people not to panic and to wait for help.
Never ever try to pry the doors open. Never ever crawl out of an elevator.
And here's another safety tip to keep in mind. Before you enter and exit an elevator, always make sure that the bottom of the elevator is level with the floor.
If it's not level, it means that the system is still adjusting to the floor level. And it's not uncommon to have a little bit when it comes to a floor, but if it's around 8-9 inches or more, then I would wait for someone to come and fix it.
Also, don't put any body parts in between closing doors to try and open them. Put your phone away, pay attention, and never jump. And if an elevator looks too crowded, don't get on. A tough sell for busy New Yorkers, but another one will always come. Staying safe is worth the wait. Alice Gaynor, CBS 2 News.
Okay. So, in case of an emergency in the elevator, as we have heard from the video, if the elevator stops between floors, don't panic. There's plenty of air in the elevator. You will not die, you will not suffocate. The elevator is built for your safety, okay? Reassure and calm anyone who is panicking about being stuck in the elevator, okay? Use the alarm or help button, the telephone or the intercom inside the elevator, inside the car, to call for assistance. Okay, follow the posted instruction for the use. Please don't attempt to pry open the door. Okay, never climb up, never try to climb out of stored elevator. Wait for qualified help to arrive, because if you try to climb out, the elevator might move and you'll be crushed between the floors. So stay inside the car and you are safe. Okay? Emergency lighting will come on. There's emergency lighting inside and you'll be safe and you'll be secured. So please don't panic. The elevator is very safe for you. Okay, so that is about the elevator. So finally, I will just do a brief 5 minutes to remind us of the COVID-19 before we end the session. Because I've been talking since, and there's like, we forgot that there is still a coronavirus, and we are still playing safely. So as a reminder, okay, please wash your hands for 20 seconds, use your sanitizer, use face mask, and practice social distancing as much as possible to reduce the infection of the COVID-19, to reduce the spread of the disease and infection. Anyone who has symptoms of COVID-19 should quickly contact 16,000, which is, of course, a Qatar Ministry of Public Health helpline. Okay? And then, as a reminder, also, we have learned this one before, just a reminder, the hand sanitizers have 70% alcohol. These are highly inflammable and must be handled with care to avoid injury or fire outbreak. Okay? Do not use the lighter near. For the smokers, don't use the lighter if you're having sanitizer or near sanitizer, okay? Keep sanitizer in areas with, or keep your sanitizer in area with any open flame. To all of us, avoid storage of large quantities of sanitizer. Keep stock that is adequate for a few days use, okay? Also, for fire emergency, remember, safe distance policy of at least 2 meters is not applicable during fire evacuation. Okay, in case of fire emergency, follow the recommended action as we said earlier and evacuate the building through the emergency escape route posted at the various entrance of the offices. Okay, proceed to the assembly point as said earlier in the ground floor, or follow the advice of the fire warden. Do not use the elevator. Okay. Usage of existing access cards for those in Royal Plaza are not mandatory for exiting the office during emergency evacuation. Just go to safety. Okay. Then what you have done today, these are the relevant law that we have just observed, and these are the resource materials. Okay, this is just for your information, no need for this one. And this is about today's topic. Thank you very much. Questions, suggestions, contributions, recommendations?